in my car on a sunny day. Ooh, it's -6 degrees over here in Stockholm. What about you? Any crack? Hey, I'm about to do me Hardy Books podcast. I've got to do that today. Lots of things I have to do. Apparently, myself and Stephen the Cowboy Kelly, is in the lad with the beard. He goes like this, you know. He's me and him are doing 2 gigs in Port Arlington. If you're around for that, please drop in. You can hang out with me in real life and see me do my comedy live. What else was I going to say? I was supposed to be doing a gig in Nancy Spain's in Monument in London as well next week. Well, not next week, sorry. What the fuck am I? Sorry. Not next week. The 6th of March. But we're waiting for that to be confirmed. TBC, as they would say in the acronym community. Michael Higgins. Any fucking crack, Michaeline? Any crack? And who else? We've got World Peas. Camera looking crisper in it. Ooh, yes. And I got a little, Bella, my girlfriend, bought me one of the little phone holders. I'm like, ooh, I'll have that. Richard Corcoran, 88, or as it'd say in Sweden, Rickard Corcoran, 88. How are you getting on? World Peas, you're a great man. We got Kicking Wing, 918. Mahan, how you doing? Long time to see. I've been gone a year, and it's good to see you streaming again. Where have you been gone? You've been off YouTube, or have you been away in another zone? But it's good to see you. Welcome back to the party. Like I've been gone myself a fair bit. It's usually, yeah, with the new living arrangements as of the last year and a half. The living room area it's more difficult. Well, look, in a nutshell, if I have the kids at the weekend, they're like, oh, I don't want to live stream. So they complain and give me grief for doing live streams at midnight, and it's very difficult to get them to bed on time. For their mother, they'll be in bed on time, but for me, I did say post-divorce many years ago to my kids that when we moved into my own place, it would be an absolute, and this is the word, absolute DOS palace. So I did indeed make the rod that whipped my own arse on that one. But yeah, so it would be nice to get back on the Friday. Also, I was doing a lot of weekend gigs, play music weekends, so there was that as well. But I thought to myself, I've been wanting to do a live stream with you fine people for quite some time now. And I think maybe the daytime stream is the way to go. But then again, I've got people in the US that like watching this too. Maybe I'll just do it whenever I get a chance. Because I think to myself, I spend so much time on Twitter talking shite to people, and it feels legitimately like I'm screaming into the void. But there's another war on the horizon. Another one with the same fucking playbook of, if you take out Iran, it will have enormous positive reverberations throughout the nation. And I really like the way Netanyahu, his whole argument for going in and destroying a nation by using America as a proxy army was he had a sign with a picture of a cartoon picture of a bomb. And that was it. It was like 95% uranium enrichment. They're 5% away. It's the same shit again, man. And I'm just screaming into the void there, talking to these assholes on X. I could be doing a hell of a lot more but it's like, do you ever get a spot, right? And you're like, oh, just get a bit, oh, it's like that. And you really, you shouldn't be at it, but the algorithms, man, they've really tweaked my, they annoy me into just going back. It's a bit like if you're dating a woman who treats you like a shit house, but you're like, I can fix her. It's that kind of mentality. Who we got in the comments section? Let me see. We got some good people. The Beast, the Man, the Legend. Lots of love from Newbridge, Martin. Thank you very much, Alan S. Great to have you on board with us today. Well, Peas, the new living arrangements. Oh, yeah. Things are good, baby. Things are good, thank God. Irish Newfoundland Bear, how are you doing? Lovely hunk. All right, Martin, big hockey game for Sweden today. Are the Swedes getting ready for... Who are they playing? Are they playing Canada? I haven't really been following the hockey. Is it being played in Sweden? Let me know more details. 1 second now, 1 second. Martin, I hope you're not in the Epstein files. Love you, Lado. The Epstein... Hey, let's talk a bit about the Epstein files, because, woo, there's some hot tamales in there. Is it true, or is it urban legend speculation that Prince Andrew has been arrested today? Can someone... I actually haven't looked that up. Is this true? Don't speak freaking fast English. Hey, if you can't handle the fast English, get out of the classroom. But I will slow it down, just in case. Let me see. I'm just really excited to be back on YouTube during the day. The lighting is good. Apparently the sound is good, and the camera looks crisp. Where are you from? Asks Martina Rakowska. I'm from Ireland, Liverpool, and Sweden. So, but more so Ireland, as you can tell by the, you know, the ginger tash, etc. So let me see. I don't listen to car people. Well, that's entirely up to you, mate. I'm just so happen to be sitting in a car doing this broadcast. But that's totally up to you, lovely lad. World Peace, Canada. All right. Has it been played in Canada? Don't freaking fast English, bloody. Okay, fast as much as I can. Good to see you, brother, says Kieran Sheridan, 9926. Good to see you. Greetings from Sligo Town, up in Yates County. Rubbish, someone says. Rubbish, it's I rap 21. Are you a rapper? Do you rap? Can you spit some bars? What's your angle in the rap game? Are you more of an old school West Coast, or are you kind of like Mob Deep East Coast rap? Or do you take it all the way back to the origin of rap, as in Electro Breakbeat, Grandmaster Flash, Sugar Hill Gang? These are questions I have for you. I rap 21, or as I'd say here in Sweden, I rap shoot. Irish Newfoundland Bear. Oh, the Olympics. Yes, playing USA in the quarterfinals. Do you know what? I haven't watched any of the Olympics. For 12 years now, I haven't had the television plugged in, as especially when you live here in Sweden, you get bombarded with the most annoying sequences of the same TV commercials over and over and over and over, till you feel like putting your fist through the television. And that's how I came to not have a television. I do spend quite a lot of time here on YouTube consuming other people's material, where I should be really focusing on making my own material. Are you from Canada? Asks Erica 2009. No, from Ireland. Though it does look like Canada because it's snowing here in Sweden. Tom Wider 6571. They arrested the clone of Andrew. The real one is kicking back on a yacht in the Pacific with Epstein. Gray morning, how you doing, buddy? Yeah. I haven't checked that, but the Epstein files, man, like has it been do the Americans and the English and the French and the Germans, do they all have access to the same files? So let's say the Germans, I've heard like the Germans and the French, the former Prime Minister of Norway has been arrested. He's been in Ireland as well. You know, there's like, I think there's probably prior indications to the fall of the Irish economy back in 2009 that they must have known was coming, and some backdoor deals were being done there too, I'd say. Greetings from Austria. Thank you very much. Greetings to you too. Hope you're doing well. I've noticed that YouTube seems to have changed the live streams. It's become more like TikTok in terms of they've had to catch up to TikTok, because if you do lives on TikTok, you know, people are just scrolling through and then they land. Whereas a lot of my subscribers would watch me at a certain time. So it's interesting to see new people drop in and drop off. Mustache is cool, by the way. Thank you very much. Thank you. It's got to bring the stash back. I'm at an age now. I'm in my 40s, and it feels like when you get to a certain age, you can call women love and have a mustache without it. It's natural. Like if you were to see an 18-year-old with a mustache going, "Can I get 2 pints of bitter there, please, love?" You'd be like, "Hey, you're being a bit cheeky, son." Whereas if you're in your 40s and you have kids and you've had long-term relationships where you call your partner love, do you want anything from the shop, love, kind of thing, then I think mustaches and the word love is something that, what the fuck am I talking about? Yeah, but you get me drift. Luke 0922, the fella is still playing Fortnite in Tel Aviv. Who's that? Oh yeah. Alan S, psyop normalization. Yeah, do you know what? It seems over the last couple of years, I personally got a lot of shit, especially from people on Reddit, for some of my less than mainstream takes on things. And it's quite validating to see a good 90% of the shit I've been talking about has now come to pass, and I just sit there going, "Told you so." But I'm just a crazy bastard, and I have no reason to, certainly don't have any reason to put my head above the parapet and talk about these things candidly, other than the fact that I've got no filter and cannot. It's almost like Tourette's, where I just have to say shit that I feel. How's Stateside? Asks Kicking Wing. He's all right, man. He's all right. He's apparently Stateside has been on a exercise journey, and he is now, I think he was up to, he was 26 stone in weight, which I think is way over 300 pounds, because according to him back in the day, he wanted to be the same weight as the Great Khali, the Indian wrestler. The only difference is the Great Khali, I think, was 7'3" and had the frame for such weight, whereas Stateside, I think, is about 6'1", and but he's been on a fitness journey now, and he's lost a lot of weight. The bloods are looking strong, Morton, so fair play to him. I'm looking forward to seeing the results. Hopefully he starts hitting the gym, and there's a lot to be said for getting fit. I've been hitting the gym lately myself. I kind of took the foot off the gas there between touring and just running in wintertime. It's a bit dodgy. I see a referral reward boosted. Does anyone else ever get these really annoying messages from Revolut where, if you refer your Revolut link, you'll get €80? Never once has any referral that I've sent yielded me this €800. It's a complete scam. Or 800 crowns, or €80. How cold is it now in Sweden? It is -6 last time I checked. Artom Vida 6571. Reddit users can be like that. I'd avoid it, bud. Yeah, it's you've probably seen that well actually meme where there's a picture of a guy who looks a bit like the comic book guy from The Simpsons. It's that mindset of normalcy bias. I think whatever's coming down the pipeline soon enough, even the likes of your Redditors that have lived in this phenomena of normalcy bias, where they want everything to be logical and there must be a perfectly logical explanation for all this. I think even they're going to come to the point where they're like, actually, I stand corrected. The world is a crazy place run by psychopaths and wrong'uns. Adrian Dunn 7393 asks, tell us about the crack when you all first saw Stateside on X Factor. I only seen that video about 10 years. No, I think it was actually about 16 years ago now. So Stateside, he goes to the X Factor auditions in Belfast, and I think it was Simon Cowell, Lewis Walsh, Sharon Osbourne and Danny Minogue. And I really like his entrance was very self-assured, very confident, and I really enjoyed watching his level of certainty. He walked in, why wouldn't I get this? And he just walked in like this, and they're like, what's your name? Tom. And why do you want to be on X Factor? I believe I could be the next rock god. And then he goes, take me to the place I love, take me all the way. And he got dissed by Sharon Osbourne, and later on in the confessional box, he attested that he was better than Ozzy and Kelly Osbourne. So, you know, it's amazing. If they'd said, I quite like this guy, he's got some chutzpah, it could have been a very different game for Stateside. But he did get into Hardy Books, and he's been there since 2009. What to say here? Horse with diarrhea. Socky Monster says, Christ, Danny Minogue, a tasty treat in her own right. Be right back, lads. Quick Google search in the jacks. Last time I spoke to Tordoff, I'd say it was about 5 years ago. The last time I seen him was pretty much up on a decade. No one sees him, and that's just the way it is. No point in reaching out. It's just like sad but true. It's like we're mourning someone who's still alive. You know what I mean? And I've long had to just accept that. You know, that's the way it is. Have you tried any of the tobacco snooze up there? Asks Luke. What, you mean like these? Yes, they're very good. Certainly a lot better than the tobacco-less snooze that do work in a pinch, but they do the job. But I always, if I'm going back to Ireland, I'll always take about 10 or 20 packets of these. They're illegal to buy them in Ireland and the UK and places like that, which is ridiculous, because they're scientifically proven to be a lot healthier for you than cigarettes. And people do still smoke cigarettes and vapes. And if you smoke them too much, you get you know. I don't think it's a good idea to inhale polypropanol, and I mean that's the same stuff they put in smoke machines in nightclubs and on stage. Bag of Knives said, "Imagine Danny Minogue telling you you have no talent." I don't really recall Danny Minogue. It was more so Sharon Osbourne, if I remember. But I tell you exactly where to find it. If you go on to X Factor failed auditions 2007 to 8 compilation, you'll find it there. I think it's from 2008, but there's a lot of excellent failed auditions in there. There was a band called From Me to You, I think it is. It was like a play on words of Boys to Men, and it's these 3 lads who come on and they're fucking petrified. And the first guy goes, how do I say goodbye to what we had? I fought to be to forever, but forever. Oh, it's fucking brilliant, man. It's one of the best ones I've ever seen. Sorry, just in the chat now, does Tom Miller still act? Well, hopefully he will be soon. What's the crack politically in Sweden at the moment? Well, Sweden has kind of, in recent years, Sweden went from being social democrats, which is basically like middle lane left-wing politics, to now a coalition between the Sverige Demokraterna Party and basically the Conservative Party. It's the same shit, man. You know what I mean? It's like looking at the USA and then being like, all right, we've got like superficial change. You know, like if you look at like the Biden administration, you had a bald man dressed up as a woman, stealing luggage from baggage carousels and then wearing them on press conferences. Sam Brinton, the head of the nuclear scientific department. People like Admiral Rachel Levine, who, even though I think 3-star general is or 3-star admiral is the maximum amount of stars a general or an admiral can have, they gave Dr. Levine a special 4th star. Whereas the foreign policy never changes. The financial institutions that strangle the country with usury and insanely high interest rates operate business as usual. So same thing here in Sweden. Sweden is one of these places where lots of startups, lots of, it's the same shit, man. You know what I mean? It's you're gonna be like the price of groceries here it's just insane. Like today I went into a Burger King and it was like €15 for a Burger King meal, and at the end of that Burger King meal I was like, why did I eat this shite when I could have just went to the Thai restaurant and got a infinitely better meal? But I was just felt like, all right, I might have a burger for lunch, and as usual, it took me about 10 minutes to decide what kind of burger, and I was like, even with the best choice, I was like, that was shite. I could have actually just gone to the shop, bought some burger buns, some ground mince, lettuce, tomatoes, sauce, cheese, a bit of relish, and made a far superior smash burger at home myself. But I didn't. Thoughts on Rupert Lowe restore Britain? I was following a bit of that. I don't really know who he is. Was he kicked out of Farage's party? Again, Farage is another one. He's. I think anybody who gets into these political parties that are mainstream parties, they're vetted. There's things in place there to not change the system. That's my opinion. What's the Morning Glory 112? Seamus Mortimer or Eugenesis? Who's winning the fight? Genesis, man. Go find a job, mate. Yeah, you too. What are you doing, Juliano? Are you just sitting around the house going like this? Just pulling the plums off yourself. Burger King is shite, to be fair. It really is. Flame grilled shite. Alan S. Agreed, Martin. Thanks very much. Bag of Knives. He owned Southampton Football Club and bankrupted it. Was that in the Leticia days, was it? You're handsome. Thank you very much. Not a bad compliment. Thank you. I'll take that. Thank you. Thank you very much. Appreciate that. Thank you very much. Great Zero Books pod with the boys. Need another one. Well, I'll be back in Ireland next week or the week after, so I'll have to get into the studio and do another one. That was great fun to have Pete involved. Pete's good old fun, and Pete helped steer the conversation in a direction that was more culture and, I suppose, surrealism. Pete's great fun. I'm gonna have to do if you haven't heard the latest Hardy Books podcast, it's out, and I'll be doing another one today. But I had to kind of cut back on the post-production element. As much as I enjoy doing it, it takes way too much time. The amount of WAV files and channels, and yeah, it's just, there's a lot to it. So I'm thinking about just kind of keeping it done is better than perfect, and that's something that is something that I try to live by these days, because I find myself spending 2 weeks working on an episode and no one fucking hears it. Burger King is really bad, says Resi 4 fan forever. Resi 4, I have to say, I'm also a fan of Resi 4. I think it's time to, maybe if I have a bit of spare time this evening, just kick back and play the Mercenaries level. Oh, Mossy Decity, Mossy muere. Sorry about that, I just went down. I had some great memories of, I remember when I was in New York 20 years ago, a good portion of my time was spent playing Resident Evil 4, skateboarding and hanging out in Manhattan. It's good fun, good times, but it will always be a good time. Yeah, bro looks like an bro looks like an Irish action hero. Who's that? Leon S. Kennedy. Jay Brackenbury. Marty, you need to release a new season of Hardy Books, best series of all time. Hopefully that'll be happening. Can't say too much about it. Cannot say too much about that. Irish Newfoundland Bear. Great. I listened to that later today. I always thought the editing on that would take ages. Yeah, it does. I mean, it's got that level of detail that only an autistic person like myself would put into it. And then you labor away on something with an absolute passion, and then you think to yourself, I could have been writing a feature film or something in that time. But that's me in a nutshell. The energy goes into places that are very nuanced or very culty. I don't know. You saw some Kick and Wing. I saw some pictures of the old cottage from the series. Shame. Yeah, it is a shame, but unfortunately the cottage was in a very remote area, and some idiot put the location up on Google Maps, and then someone had the bright idea of breaking in, and then once that started, it was only a matter of time until people just took the piss completely, and unfortunately it was burned down. Owen McHugh, many creamers went back in the homeland. Oh yes, Owen, many beautiful creamers. I can recommend Swinford, to be fair to it. It's a small town. I'd say there's about 7 pubs left in it, but there's not one pub there where you'll get a bad pint of cream. And one place I really enjoyed the creamers is Moore's Pub. It's a place my dad loves. It's always been a men's pub, really, by and large. But I tell you one thing, they take the Guinness very, very seriously. They're beautiful creamers, so I can recommend that if you're ever there. Red Armchair supporter, the Sligo Boys. DPJ993, you should read or listen to Michael Parenti. You'd love his political analysis. All his works are brilliant. He died recently. He's a way better working class version of Chomsky and not a pedo. I'll bear that in mind. Thanks very much. I tell you who I love watching. Gerald Salente, the trends forecaster. Like, if you watch his recent video on Tuesday, man, he just lets loose. I love it whenever you see the glasses coming off, he gets very angry and irate, and he calls it like it is. And I appreciate his passion to the world, because you can see he's got a good heart. I was hoping to try and get him on this channel for an interview, but he's fairly busy. But we'll keep on him. Okay, is Hardy Book Series 6 does happen? Would you ask Virgin Media 1 or 2 to fund it? It wouldn't be right to take it to another channel. And to be honest with you, I don't know. See, the thing is, television in its present form, I don't think, I mean, other than the fact that it has advertising revenue. So RTE is a state-funded broadcast, which means it's taxpayer and revenue funded. I don't think they have been too fiscally conservative with the salaries of many of the presenters, and I don't know, man. Like I think over the years they've squandered a lot of opportunity and money. But I think Channel 4, ITV, BBC, a lot of legacy media channels, they can't really keep up with like YouTube or TikTok, Instagram. That's where like most content is now divided over 4 or 5 main streaming platforms. Like, how many people are watching Twitch or watching TikTok Live or YouTube channels? And I think it's the end of an era for television. I think it's had its day, and streaming platforms on top of that then as well. You know, if you go on to TikTok Live now, you'll find channels or you'll find profiles that there's there's about 2,000 people watching somebody driving around Swindon in a car, and then you repeat that enough times, and your audience, your traditional TV audiences, they're all scattered. So make of that what you will. Good to see you doing well. Much love from Galway. Thanks very much, Sparky. Thanks very much for the super chat there, Kick and Wing. Appreciate that, buddy. 11 horses, sparkly red mustache. It's glowing there in the sunset. The sun is setting here in Stockholm. I have to say, it's the coldest winter I've seen in a long time, and I kind of had the feeling it would be a cold winter. Somebody said that the Arctic ice had been at the highest level it's been for 20 or 30 years. So I kind of figured that it would be a cold winter. It's mad. When I was in Ireland, like when I left to go to Ireland in January, there was about 2 feet of snow. And then you go to Ireland then, and in comparison to Sweden, it felt like you were in a Mediterranean winter. Like, it gets cold there, but it's not half as cold as it is here. And if you go up to the north of Sweden now, like Umeå or Luleå, maybe like -10. It was -20 degrees last week. But it is a great place for winter sports, especially the further you go up north. But there's about the ice that's covering the lakes here is probably about that thick, maybe more. So there was a lake near me with a lad driving a quad bike on the lake. Like, the further you go up north, people drift on the ice. It wouldn't be something, I don't know, you'd want to be thick ice to take a car and drift on it, but I'd imagine it'd be brilliant fun. Tuning in from Atlanta. How's it going over there in Atlanta? I'd like to check out Atlanta. Georgia seems like a nice place. Savannah, they have a St. Patrick's Day festival there every year, I believe. I heard it's quite a big one, and there's quite a big Irish population down there. Resi 4 fan forever. It's interesting, the cold and so much sunlight at the same time. In Austria, it's often cold with less sunlight. Yeah, it's a different sunlight up here in Scandinavia. It's a very pale kind of light. And I was wondering how, like, the snow disappears even though it doesn't melt into water. It's called sublimation. It's where the sun shines on the ice, on the snow, and rather than it melting, it just turns into vapor. And that's because I was when I came back from Ireland, I was like, you could see that it hadn't melted, but it had started disappearing. And I looked that up and found out it was the sublimation. That was the name of that one. Haven't heard it yet, but I've heard the same. Yeah, it's seems like a cool place. The Riverboat Queen. I don't know if that's the. Does the Mississippi flow out of Savannah? Or does it go? Does it, my geography there has failed me. If someone can answer that question. Irish Newfoundlander getting battered with wind and snow this winter in Newfoundland. 140-kilometer winds and 50 centimeters of snow at a time. Wow, that's crazy. I was hoping to. It was unfortunate. We were hoping to go to St. John's last year to do a gig, but the idiot who booked our tour, man. I mean, you're talking just new levels of incompetency. Rather than booking a venue, he booked the city and then tried to find a place. And we were really looking forward to playing St. John's because I heard Newfoundland is the most similar to Ireland that there is. But we'll be back. We will do something up in Newfoundland. We'll have good fun. But that's yeah. You've been. What's the weather like in New York now? I heard New York is still. It's having one of the worst winters they've had in a long time, or so I'm led to believe. Insanoflex says, "What's the story with Avi McCall who played Kira?" I don't know. I haven't seen her for a long time, but she's a really nice girl, and yeah, she really threw herself into the role with gusto, and she was good fun to work with. A good lass, song doll. New Orleans, thanks very much for that. So But is there a river the Savannah River? That's the one I was thinking about. Yeah, the Savannah River, of course. New Orleans. Did you hear about Shia LaBeouf got a few slaps down there? I seen a video of Shia LaBeouf was down for Mardi Gras in New Orleans, and he was really enjoying himself, but then he had to take it a little bit too far on the whiskey. Just saw on Reddit, apparently the old skyline from the show has been stripped for parts about a year ago. Oh, why? Why? That's equally as depressing as the cottage. Stripped for parts, man. You'd think someone would have gone, this is the car from an iconic television series. Let's hold on to this and auction it to someone who would have liked to have bought that. But that's the way it goes. Do you want to visit the Faroe Islands, not far away from Sweden? I wouldn't mind going to the Faroe Islands, actually. It'd be quite interesting it's kind of like it's a kind of a cross between Scotland and Norway, if I'm not mistaken. She was on the Yorks. Oh, Mia Goth and him are having a break. Mia Goth. Yeah, actually, speaking of which, I watched Guillermo del Toro's Frankenstein there during the beginning of the week. I have to say, it was a good film, and I was impressed that it was a Netflix production as well. It was good old movie. Your man Elordi, he played a good. See, it was an interesting film because it was two parts. It was Victor von Frankenstein's side of the story, and then it was the creature side of the story, and at the end of it there was a nice sense of resolution and the themes of forgiveness and atonement. So I could get right behind that. Did you ever own that motor? Not at all. There was a lad from French Park who had a panel beater. But I'll tell you one thing, she was nippy. Woo! You didn't even have to put your leg over the gearbox. Put your leg over the gearbox, man. Feed the horses. Gotta run. Have a nice rest of the week. You too, buddy. Nice to see you. Hello from Australia. Jeez, must be getting late over there. Miss Sony Mackenzie. Australia. It was good old fun. It was last year. Last year was a good year for seeing the world, and New Zealand as well. That was New Zealand was cool. I really enjoyed that. But the only problem was we only had 8 days to cover. Like I thought that New Zealand was going to be about. I thought each island of New Zealand was about the same size as the country Ireland. We were wrong about that. It's about 4 times the length of Ireland. But if we'd had a couple more days to kind of relax and like you'd be driving through like the South Island and be like gun range, parachuting, paintball, quad bikes, Mount Cook. And we just had we stopped by Mount Cook, and this was like I had a root canal that went bad. I had an abscess and I had to have a tooth pulled, and I didn't miss a show. I went up on the stage with my jaw swollen up, and I said, sorry about looking like the Elephant Man. I've got a tooth in need of being pulled. The books have gotten me through a lot. Cheers from New Zealand. I plan to head back to the UK this year, and I'd love to take a trip to Swinford. Got to do the 12 pubs at Castletown. Do you know what? You'd love it. Ireland, and it's mad. When I was driving through the North Island at night, I had to have double takes because on the way from Rotorua to Wellington, the roads are very similar to the roads in the west of Ireland, and I was like, it's the same road markings, and for a second you think you're in between French Park and Tulsk or something. It's our summer and we have temperatures of 49.6 degrees. Aside from that, Australia is a lucky country. Yeah, apart from the poisonous stuff, I saw a huntsman spider, and it was only a small one, but that thing could move. And when we were in Adelaide, I went to this kind of disused bath, like toilet, in the hall of this Irish club, and you could see like some redback spiders had made like a web along the side of the window, and I thought, ooh, yeah, like, so I've got a couple of mates who work up in Brisbane, and one of them puts in pipes, and he has to run the trowel around the inside of the pipe just to scare the spiders away. And I was thinking, I suppose you get used to it, but it's just if you're like out in the middle of nowhere and you get bitten by a king brown snake, there's not an awful lot you can do there. Surprised Channel 4 didn't have a curfew for the week after showing Prince Andrew the musical. Is there such a thing? Greetings from Poland, Shema. Poland's a great old country. I think the last time I was in Poland was about 3 years ago. I was in what's the fucking name of it? Next to beside Gdansk, near the beach. Sobotka. You'll be able to correct me, but Krakow, what a city. And Poznan is a great spot as well. I had great fun filming the Hardy Books movie in Poznan. And I tell you one thing, I burnt the candle at both ends there. Drinking all night, filming all day. I think I had maybe like 2 hours sleep a night. And I remember being so ran down that I got a massive spot on my neck. Yeah, sorry about that. I just muted it. Thanks for that. Yeah, I was saying that yeah, I was there kind of towards the end of summer, and the weather was lovely. But it'd be cool to go up to Darwin and check out Cahill's Crossing. Check out the salties, mate. The salties. He's away with the fairies, so he is. Let me see. Can you hear yet? But well, look at I've got work to be done. I have to get that podcast out. If you haven't heard it, please go and check out the Hardy Books podcast on Spotify. And if you're driving, or if you're looking for something to ease you off into bed when you're having a sleep, it's a perfect thing to listen to. But give it the old thumbs up as well if you're still watching, and try and get another I always say this, I'll try and get another one done this week, so we'll see. But it's been really nice to chat to you all, and look forward to the next installment. And if you are indeed around Laois in Ireland on the 1st of March, we have a second show in the Anvil Inn, myself and Stevie Kelly. And if you're around London, hopefully the 6th of March, we should be in Monument in London, but we're waiting just to give that the push on social media. So if you're around London, there'll be a good bit of comedy and live music and a bit of madness to be had over in London town. Any word of a new series, boy? I'll find it myself. I'll fund it myself with my own coinage. We will see. We will see. Can't say too much on it. Can't say too much. Best of luck, horse, to yourself. Keep them coming. Enjoy the rest of your evening, everybody, or the day if you're on the other side of the planet. And I'll talk to you all soon. Thanks for watching.